Question 1. After reading that the class start feeling nervous after a certain chime is repeatedly paired with a pop quiz, how should Tarek label the concept? Option A. Constructivism. Option B. Metacognition. Option C. Operant conditioning. Option D. Classical conditioning. The correct answer is option D. Classical conditioning. This describes classical conditioning because a neutral stimulus becomes linked with an emotional response after repeated pairings. Constructivism is not the best choice because it explains active meaning-making, not a reflexive conditioned response. Metacognition is different because it concerns thinking about one's own thinking, not learned emotional associations. Operant conditioning does not fit because it focuses on consequences after behavior rather than associations before a response. Question 2. For a short exam review, Tarek connects an instructor adds praise after a student participates and participation increases with which principle? Option A. Negative reinforcement. Option B. Positive reinforcement. Option C. Punishment. Option D. Extinction. The correct answer is option B. Positive reinforcement. This describes positive reinforcement because a desirable consequence is added after a behavior, making that behavior more likely. Negative reinforcement is not the best choice because it removes an unpleasant condition rather than adding a reward. Punishment is different because it aims to reduce behavior rather than increase it. Extinction does not fit because it weakens behavior by withholding reinforcement. Question 3. Could a case where the class complete homework early to avoid a weekly reminder call home be an example of which concept for Tarek? Option A. Classical conditioning. Option B. Response cost. Option C. Positive reinforcement. Option D. Negative reinforcement. The correct answer is option D. Negative reinforcement. This describes negative reinforcement because a behavior increases because it helps the learner avoid or remove something unpleasant. Classical conditioning is not the best choice because it involves stimulus association rather than consequences shaping behavior. Response cost is different because it removes a privilege after misbehavior. Positive reinforcement does not fit because it adds a pleasant consequence rather than removing an unpleasant one. Question 4. Why would Tarek link a student receives an extra cleanup task after throwing paper and the behavior decreases to one major educational psychology idea? Option A. Positive reinforcement. Option B. Shaping. Option C. Negative reinforcement. Option D. Positive punishment. The correct answer is option D. Positive punishment. This describes positive punishment because an unpleasant consequence is added to reduce an unwanted behavior. Positive reinforcement is not the best choice because it adds something desirable to increase behavior. Shaping is different because it builds behavior through small reinforced steps. Negative reinforcement does not fit because it increases behavior by removing something unpleasant. Question 5. A practice item tells Tarek that an instructor rewards each closer attempt as a shy learner gradually speaks louder in class. Which concept is most likely? Option A. Shaping. Option B. Extinction. Option C. Fixed ratio schedule. Option D. Reciprocal teaching. The correct answer is option A. Shaping. This describes shaping because successive approximations are reinforced until the desired behavior develops. Extinction is not the best choice because it reduces behavior by removing reinforcement. Fixed ratio schedule is different because it reinforces after a set number of responses, not gradual progress. Reciprocal teaching does not fit because it uses student-led reading strategies rather than behavior building. Question 6. Before answering, Tarek identifies that an instructor stops laughing at off-task jokes and the jokes slowly fade away. Which term should be chosen? Option A. Modeling. Option B. Punishment. Option C. Spaced practice. Option D. Extinction. The correct answer is option D. Extinction. This describes extinction because a previously reinforced behavior decreases when reinforcement is no longer provided. Modeling is not the best choice because it involves learning by watching others. Punishment is different because it adds or removes a consequence to reduce behavior more directly. Spaced practice does not fit because it improves memory through distributed study sessions. Question 7. Which choice helps Tarek explain why a learner keeps answering review questions? Because bonus points appear after unpredictable numbers of correct responses in a mini-lecture. Option A. Fixed ratio schedule. Option B. Variable ratio schedule. Option C. Variable interval schedule. Option D. Fixed interval schedule. The correct answer is option B. Variable ratio schedule. This describes variable ratio schedule because reinforcement occurs after an unpredictable number of responses, which often produces steady responding. Fixed ratio schedule is not the best choice because it rewards after a predictable number of responses, variable interval schedule is different because it rewards after changing time intervals rather than response counts. Fixed interval schedule does not fit because it rewards the first response after a set amount of time. Question 8. How can Tarek classify a classroom moment where the class work hardest right before a quiz that happens every Friday? Option A, token economy. Option B, variable ratio schedule. Option C, fixed interval schedule. Option D, fixed ratio schedule. The correct answer is option C, fixed interval schedule. This describes fixed interval schedule because reinforcement is available after a predictable amount of time has passed. Token economy is not the best choice because it uses symbolic rewards exchanged for privileges. Variable ratio schedule is different because it depends on unpredictable response counts. Fixed ratio schedule does not fit because it depends on a set number of responses. Question 9. Suppose Tarek observes that a child copies a classmate's polite hand raising after seeing the classmate praised. Which concept is shown? Option A, observational learning. Option B, insight learning. Option C, trial and error learning. Option D, classical conditioning. The correct answer is option A, observational learning. This describes observational learning because the learner changes behavior after watching another person and the consequences that follow. Insight learning is not the best choice because it involves a sudden solution, not imitation. Trial and error learning is different because it depends on personal attempts and feedback rather than watching a model. Classical conditioning does not fit because it links stimuli rather than modeling behavior. Question 10. While reviewing, Tarek sees a student with strong belief in personal ability chooses harder practice problems. Which idea matches the situation? Option A, self-efficacy. Option B, intrinsic motivation. Option C, external locus of control. Option D, self-concept. The correct answer is option A, self-efficacy. This describes self-efficacy because the learner's belief in their capability affects effort, persistence, and challenge choice. Intrinsic motivation is not the best choice because it refers to interest or enjoyment, not belief in ability. External locus of control is different because it attributes outcomes to outside forces rather than personal capability. Self-concept does not fit because it is a broader view of oneself, not task-specific competence. Question 11. One interesting clue says a learner's confidence, classroom behavior, and teacher response all influence one another. Which educational psychology term fits for Tarek? Option A, classical conditioning. Option B, maturation. Option C, reciprocal determinism. Option D, norm reference testing. The correct answer is option C, reciprocal determinism. This describes reciprocal determinism because personal factors, behavior, and environment interact in a two-way pattern. Classical conditioning is not the best choice because it focuses on learned stimulus associations. Maturation is different because it emphasizes biological growth rather than social interaction cycles. Norm reference testing does not fit because it compares scores to other test takers. Question 12. From this example, where an instructor gives sentence starters at first and slowly removes them as the class improves, which answer should Tarek select? Option A, summative assessment. Option B, extinction. Option C, standardization. Option D, scaffolding. The correct answer is option D, scaffolding. This describes scaffolding because temporary support is provided and then withdrawn as learners become more independent. Summative assessment is not the best choice because it evaluates learning after instruction is complete. Extinction is different because it removes reinforcement to reduce behavior. Standardization does not fit because it keeps testing procedures the same for everyone. Question 13. Students in a practice test workshop discuss why a learner can solve a problem with hints but not yet alone. Which concept gives the best explanation? Option A, formal operational stage. Option B, mastery learning. Option C, reliability. Option D, zone of proximal development. The correct answer is option D, zone of proximal development. This describes zone of proximal development because the task sits between independent ability and what the learner can do with support. Formal operational stage is not the best choice because it describes abstract reasoning, not support level. Mastery learning is different because it requires reaching a performance standard before moving on. Reliability does not fit because it concerns score consistency, not learning support. Question 14. Teachers in a tutoring table wonder why a child calls a zebra a horse because it fits an existing animal category. Which principle applies? Option A, conservation. Option B, encoding. Option C, assimilation. Option D, accommodation. The correct answer is option C, assimilation. This describes assimilation because new information is interpreted using an existing mental schema. Conservation is not the best choice because it is understanding that quantity can stay the same despite appearance changes. Encoding is different because it is getting information into memory. Accommodation does not fit because it changes the schema to fit new information. Question 15. Can Tarek treat a child changes the animal category after learning zebras are not horses as evidence of which concept? Option A, accommodation. Option B, assimilation. Option C, rehearsal. Option D, class inclusion. The correct answer is option A, accommodation. This describes accommodation because an existing schema is revised when new information does not fit. Assimilation is not the best choice because it would force new information into an old schema. Rehearsal is different because it is repeating information to maintain it in memory. Class inclusion does not fit because it involves understanding category relationships. Question 16. If Tarek must answer quickly, which idea is signaled when a child solves conservation tasks but struggles with purely hypothetical logic? Option A, sensoromotor thinking. Option B, concrete operational thinking. Option C, pre-operational thinking. Option D, formal operational thinking. The correct answer is option B, concrete operational thinking. This describes concrete operational thinking because children can reason logically about concrete objects but not fully abstract possibilities. Sensoromotor thinking is not the best choice because it centers on infant sensory and motor exploration. Pre-operational thinking is different because it often lacks conservation and logical reversibility. Formal operational thinking does not fit because it includes abstract and hypothetical reasoning. Question 17. Rather than guessing, Tarek should connect a teen reasons through a hypothetical justice problem without needing physical examples with which concept? Option A, formal operational thinking. Option B, pre-operational thinking. Option C, concrete operational thinking. Option D, object permanence. The correct answer is option A, formal operational thinking. This describes formal operational thinking because abstract and hypothetical reasoning are key features of the stage. Pre-operational thinking is not the best choice because it is marked by symbolic thought but limited logic. Concrete operational thinking is different because it works best with tangible examples. Object permanence does not fit because it is an infant understanding that objects still exist when unseen. Question 18. Curiosity rises when Tarek reads that an infant searches for a hidden toy instead of acting as if it disappeared. Which term solves the puzzle? Option A, centration. Option B, object permanence. Option C, conservation. Option D, egocentrism. The correct answer is option B, object permanence. This describes object permanence because the child understands that objects continue to exist even when out of sight. Centration is not the best choice because it means focusing on one feature while ignoring others. Conservation is different because it involves understanding quantity despite appearance changes. Egocentrism does not fit because it involves difficulty taking another person's viewpoint. Question 19. A CLEP-style scenario says an elementary student gains pride from mastering reading and classroom skills. Which answer best captures it for Tarek? Option A, generativity versus stagnation. Option B, trust versus mistrust. Option C, identity versus role confusion. Option D, industry versus inferiority. The correct answer is option D, industry versus inferiority. This describes industry versus inferiority because school-age children build competence through successful work and feedback. Generativity versus stagnation is not the best choice because it focuses on adult contribution to others. Trust versus mistrust is different because it centers on infant caregiver reliability. Identity versus role confusion does not fit because it is mainly an adolescent search for personal identity. Question 20. Inside an after-school class, Tarek studies why a teenager explores values, careers and beliefs to answer who they are. Which concept fits? Option A, identity versus role confusion. Option B, autonomy versus shame. Option C, industry versus inferiority. Option D, intimacy versus isolation. The correct answer is option A, identity versus role confusion. This describes identity versus role confusion because adolescents work toward a stable sense of self and direction. Autonomy versus shame is not the best choice because it describes toddlers building independence. Industry versus inferiority is different because it focuses on school-age competence. Intimacy versus isolation does not fit because it usually involves young adult relationships. Question 21. Looking at the clue that a student says cheating is wrong because rules and community expectations matter, which idea should Tarek remember? Option A. Moral realism. Option B. Post-conventional morality. Option C. Pre-conventional morality. Option D. Conventional morality. The correct answer is option D. Conventional morality. This describes conventional morality because moral reasoning is based on social approval, rules, and maintaining order. Moral realism is not the best choice because it treats rules as fixed and unchangeable. Post-conventional morality is different because it uses broad ethical principles beyond rules. Pre-conventional morality does not fit because it focuses on rewards and punishments. Question 22. Tarek sees that a child avoids lying mainly to escape punishment or earn a reward during a mini-lecture. Which concept best explains it? Option A. Pre-conventional morality. Option B. Conventional morality. Option C. Post-conventional morality. Option D. Identity achievement. The correct answer is option A. Pre-conventional morality. This describes pre-conventional morality because moral decisions are driven by personal consequences such as punishment or reward. Conventional morality is not the best choice because it emphasizes rules and approval from society. Post-conventional morality is different because it reasons from abstract principles and rights. Identity achievement does not fit because it describes commitment after exploration, not moral reasoning. Question 23. When Tarek notices that a student argues that a rule should be challenged when it violates basic human rights in a peer study circle, which idea is being tested? Option A. Learned helplessness. Option B. Post-conventional morality. Option C. Pre-conventional morality. Option D. Conventional morality. The correct answer is option B. Post-conventional morality. This describes post-conventional morality because moral reasoning is guided by universal principles rather than simple rule following. Learned helplessness is not the best choice because it concerns giving up after repeated failure. Pre-conventional morality is different because it focuses on personal gain or punishment. Conventional morality does not fit because it generally supports rules and social order. Question 24. During a Bright Review class, Tarek studies a case where an instructor plans choices that include music, movement, language, and spatial design. Which term fits best? Option A. Norm reference testing. Option B. Multiple intelligences. Option C. Working memory. Option D. G factor. The correct answer is option B. Multiple intelligences. This describes multiple intelligences because the approach treats ability as varied across different domains of strength. Norm reference testing is not the best choice because it compares learners to a group. Working memory is different because it is a limited mental workspace. G factor does not fit because it emphasizes a general intelligence factor. Question 25. In a quiet study group, Tarek asks why an assignment asks the class to solve problems, create products, and apply ideas in daily life. Which answer names the idea? Option A. Multiple intelligences. Option B. Criterion reference testing. Option C. Triarchic intelligence. Option D. Fluid intelligence. The correct answer is option C. Triarchic intelligence. This describes triarchic intelligence because Sternberg's model highlights analytical, creative, and practical intelligence. Multiple intelligences is not the best choice because it lists broader domains such as musical or bodily kinesthetic abilities. Criterion referenced testing is different because it measures performance against standards. Fluid intelligence does not fit because it refers to novel problem-solving ability. Question 26. After reading that a learner studies child development because the topic feels genuinely fascinating, how should Tarek label the concept? Option A. Intrinsic motivation. Option B. Extrinsic motivation. Option C. Performance goal. Option D. Negative reinforcement. The correct answer is option A. Intrinsic motivation. This describes intrinsic motivation because the behavior is driven by interest, curiosity, or enjoyment of the activity itself. Extrinsic motivation is not the best choice because it depends on outside rewards or pressures. Performance goal is different because it focuses on looking competent compared with others. Negative reinforcement does not fit because it increases behavior by removing something unpleasant. Question 27. For a short exam review, Tarek connects a student completes extra practice mainly to earn a gift card with which principle? Option A. Intrinsic motivation. Option B. Mastery goal. Option C. Extrinsic motivation. Option D. Self-regulation. The correct answer is option C. Extrinsic motivation. This describes extrinsic motivation because the behavior is driven by an outside reward rather than the activity itself. Intrinsic motivation is not the best choice because it comes from interest or enjoyment. Mastery goal is different because it emphasizes learning and improvement. Self-regulation does not fit because it involves planning and monitoring one's learning. Question 28. Could a case where a learner chooses difficult questions to improve understanding even if mistakes happen be an example of which concept for Tarek? Option A, fixed mindset. Option B, performance goal. Option C, mastery goal. Option D, avoidance goal. The correct answer is option C, mastery goal. This describes mastery goal because the focus is on growth, learning, and skill development. Fixed mindset is not the best choice because it treats ability as unchangeable. Performance goal is different because it focuses on proving ability or outperforming others. Avoidance goal does not fit because it focuses on avoiding failure or embarrassment. Question 29. Why would Tarek link a student studies mainly to score higher than classmates and appear smart to one major educational psychology idea? Option A, metacognition. Option B, mastery goal. Option C, intrinsic motivation. Option D, performance goal. The correct answer is option D, performance goal. This describes performance goal because the learner is focused on demonstrating ability relative to others. Metacognition is not the best choice because it involves awareness and control of thinking. Mastery goal is different because it centers on improvement and understanding. Intrinsic motivation does not fit because it centers on enjoyment or curiosity. Question 30. A practice item tells Tarek that a learner explains a failed test by blaming effort, task difficulty, luck, or ability. Which concept is most likely? Option A, classroom ecology. Option B, attribution theory. Option C, information processing theory. Option D, constructivism. The correct answer is option B, attribution theory. This describes attribution theory because it examines how people explain causes of success and failure. Classroom ecology is not the best choice because it focuses on classroom environment patterns. Information processing theory is different because it explains how information moves through memory systems. Constructivism does not fit because it emphasizes building meaning from experience. Question 31. Before answering, Tarek identifies that a student stops trying because repeated failures made success feel impossible. Which term should be chosen? Option A, growth mindset. Option B, self-efficacy. Option C, positive transfer. Option D, learned helplessness. The correct answer is option D, learned helplessness. This describes learned helplessness because repeated uncontrollable failure can reduce motivation and effort. Growth mindset is not the best choice because it supports belief that ability can improve. Self-efficacy is different because it refers to belief in capability, not resignation. Positive transfer does not fit because it happens when prior learning helps new learning. Question 32. Which choice helps Tarek explain why a student treats mistakes as evidence that a skill can improve with strategy and effort in a teacher training scenario? Option A, fixed mindset. Option B, growth mindset. Option C, entity theory. Option D, external attribution. The correct answer is option B, growth mindset. This describes growth mindset because ability is viewed as developable through effort, feedback, and better strategies. Fixed mindset is not the best choice because it treats ability as stable and hard to change. Entity theory is different because it is another way to describe fixed views of ability. External attribution does not fit because it places causes outside the learner. Question 33. How can Tarek classify a classroom moment where a hungry, unsafe student struggles to focus on a challenging lesson? Option A, Maslow hierarchy of needs. Option B, Bloom taxonomy. Option C, classical conditioning. Option D, Kohlberg theory. The correct answer is option A, Maslow hierarchy of needs. This describes Maslow hierarchy of needs because basic physiological and safety needs can affect readiness for higher level learning. Bloom taxonomy is not the best choice because it classifies cognitive learning objectives. Classical conditioning is different because it explains learned stimulus response associations. Kohlberg theory does not fit because it describes moral reasoning development. Question 34. Suppose Tarek observes that a student loses track while solving a long mental math problem with many steps. Which concept is shown? Option A, working memory. Option B, procedural memory. Option C, long-term memory. Option D, sensory memory. The correct answer is option A, working memory. This describes working memory because working memory is the limited mental space used to hold and process information temporarily. Procedural memory is not the best choice because it stores skills and habits. Long-term memory is different because it stores information over extended periods. Sensory memory does not fit because it briefly holds raw sensory input. Question 35. While reviewing, Tarek sees a learner recalls a teaching theory studied weeks earlier. Which idea matches the situation? Option A, working memory. Option B, sensory memory. Option C, long-term memory. Option D, selective attention. The correct answer is option C, long-term memory. This describes long-term memory because information retained over time is stored in long-term memory. Working memory is not the best choice because it is temporary and limited during active thinking. Sensory memory is different because it lasts only briefly after stimulation. Selective attention does not fit because it filters what receives mental focus. Question 36. One interesting clue says a student turns a new vocabulary term into a meaningful example to remember it. Which educational psychology term fits for Tarek? Option A, extinction. Option B, validity. Option C, retrieval. Option D, encoding. The correct answer is option D, encoding. This describes encoding because encoding is the process of getting information into memory in a usable form. Extinction is not the best choice because it weakens a learned behavior. Validity is different because it concerns whether a test measures what it should. Retrieval does not fit because it involves pulling stored information back out. Question 37. From this example, where a learner closes the book and answers questions from memory to strengthen recall, which answer should Tarek select? Option A, centration. Option B, retrieval practice. Option C, massed practice. Option D, summative assessment. The correct answer is option B, retrieval practice. This describes retrieval practice because actively recalling information improves later memory more than simply rereading. Centration is not the best choice because it means focusing on one feature of a situation. Massed practice is different because it compresses study into one long session. Summative assessment does not fit because it evaluates learning at the end of instruction. Question 38. Students in a peer study circle discuss why a student studies the same concepts in short sessions across several days. Which concept gives the best explanation? Option A, massed practice. Option B, shaping. Option C, norming. Option D, spaced practice. The correct answer is option D, spaced practice. This describes spaced practice because learning is distributed over time, which usually supports stronger retention. Massed practice is not the best choice because it packs study into one concentrated period. Shaping is different because it reinforces gradual behavior changes. Norming does not fit because it creates comparison data for a test. Question 39. Teachers in a Bright Review class wonder why a learner links a new theory to personal classroom experiences. Which principle applies? Option A, rote rehearsal. Option B, reliability. Option C, extinction. Option D, elaboration. The correct answer is option D, elaboration. This describes elaboration because new information is made more meaningful by connecting it to existing knowledge. Rote rehearsal is not the best choice because it repeats information without adding meaning. Reliability is different because it refers to consistency of measurement. Extinction does not fit because it removes reinforcement to reduce behavior. Question 40. Can Tarek treat a student groups a long list of theorists into behaviorist, cognitive, and social categories as evidence of which concept? Option A, overlearning. Option B, response cost. Option C, accommodation. Option D, chunking. The correct answer is option D, chunking. This describes chunking because information is organized into meaningful units to reduce memory load. Overlearning is not the best choice because it continues practice after initial mastery. Response cost is different because it removes a privilege to reduce behavior. Accommodation does not fit because it changes a schema to fit new information. Question 41. If Tarek must answer quickly, which idea is signaled when a student checks which topics are weak and adjusts the study plan? Option A, classical conditioning. Option B, extrinsic motivation. Option C, automaticity. Option D, metacognition. The correct answer is option D, metacognition. This describes metacognition because the learner monitors and controls their own thinking and learning strategies. Classical conditioning is not the best choice because it involves learned associations. Extrinsic motivation is different because it depends on external rewards. Automaticity does not fit because it means a skill requires little conscious effort. Question 42. Rather than guessing, Tarek should connect knowledge from a statistics lesson helps a student understand test reliability with which concept? Option A, negative punishment. Option B, cognitive dissonance. Option C, transfer of learning. Option D, extinction. The correct answer is option C, transfer of learning. This describes transfer of learning because previous learning influences performance in a new but related situation. Negative punishment is not the best choice because it removes something desirable to reduce behavior. Cognitive dissonance is different because it involves discomfort from conflicting beliefs. Extinction does not fit because it reduces behavior when reinforcement stops. Question 43. Curiosity rises when Tarek reads that an instructor gives a big-picture concept map before a complex lesson begins. Which term solves the puzzle? Option A, random assignment. Option B, advance organizer. Option C, token economy. Option D, exit ticket. The correct answer is option B, advance organizer. This describes advance organizer because a preview structure helps learners connect new information to prior knowledge. Random assignment is not the best choice because it places participants into groups by chance. Token economy is different because it uses symbolic rewards. Exit ticket does not fit because it checks understanding at the end of a lesson. Question 44. A CLEP-style scenario says a learner uses an existing mental framework about classrooms to understand a new teaching method. Which answer best captures it for Tarek? Option A, schema. Option B, reinforcer. Option C, rubric. Option D, percentile rank. The correct answer is option A, schema. This describes schema because a schema is an organized knowledge structure used to interpret information. Reinforcer is not the best choice because it is a consequence that increases behavior. Rubric is different because it is a scoring guide. Percentile rank does not fit because it shows relative standing in a group. Question 45. Inside a classroom discussion, Tarek studies why too many visuals, terms, and steps overwhelm a learner during a first lesson. Which concept fits? Option A, egocentrism. Option B, cognitive load. Option C, reliability. Option D, intrinsic motivation. The correct answer is option B, cognitive load. This describes cognitive load because working memory can become overloaded when too much information must be processed at once. Egocentrism is not the best choice because it means difficulty taking another viewpoint. Reliability is different because it concerns consistency of scores. Intrinsic motivation does not fit because it concerns interest and enjoyment. Question 46. Looking at the clue that the class build their own understanding through discussion, examples, and problem solving, which idea should Tarek remember? Option A, behaviorism. Option B, constructivism. Option C, maturation. Option D, standardization. The correct answer is option B, constructivism. This describes constructivism because learners actively construct meaning rather than simply receive information. Behaviorism is not the best choice because it emphasizes observable behavior and consequences. Maturation is different because it emphasizes biological growth. Standardization does not fit because it keeps procedures uniform. Question 47. Tarek sees that the class investigate a question, gather evidence, and develop an explanation during a teacher training scenario. Which concept best explains it? Option A, fixed ratio reinforcement. Option B, inquiry-based learning. Option C, norm-referenced assessment. Option D, direct instruction. The correct answer is option B, inquiry-based learning. This describes inquiry-based learning because learning begins with questions and exploration rather than only direct telling. Fixed ratio reinforcement is not the best choice because it rewards after a set number of responses. Norm-referenced assessment is different because it compares students to one another. Direct instruction does not fit because it uses clear teacher-led explanation and guided practice. Question 48. When Tarek notices that an instructor models a skill, guides practice, checks understanding, and gives feedback in a final review session, which idea is being tested? Option A, peer tutoring. Option B, portfolio assessment. Option C, discovery learning. Option D, direct instruction. The correct answer is option D, direct instruction. This describes direct instruction because the method uses explicit teaching steps and structured practice. Peer tutoring is not the best choice because it uses students helping students. Portfolio assessment is different because it collects work over time. Discovery learning does not fit because it expects students to uncover ideas with less direct guidance. Question 49. During a learning lab, Tarek studies a case where the class work in small groups with shared goals and individual accountability. Which term fits best? Option A, independent study. Option B, cooperative learning. Option C, lecture method. Option D, competitive learning. The correct answer is option B, cooperative learning. This describes cooperative learning because learners collaborate while each member remains responsible for contributing. Independent study is not the best choice because it relies on solo learning. Lecture method is different because it centers on teacher presentation. Competitive learning does not fit because it ranks students against one another. Question 50. In an after-school class, Tarek asks why an instructor adjusts tasks, materials, and support based on learner readiness. Which answer names the idea? Option A, random sampling. Option B, differentiated instruction. Option C, standardized instruction. Option D, summative assessment. The correct answer is option B, differentiated instruction. This describes differentiated instruction because instruction is adapted to different needs while keeping meaningful learning goals. Random sampling is not the best choice because it selects participants for research. Standardized instruction is different because it delivers the same approach to all students. Summative assessment does not fit because it evaluates after instruction. Question 51. After reading that a lesson offers text, audio, visuals, and different ways to show understanding from the start, how should Tarek label the concept? Option A, accommodation only. Option B, mastery grading. Option C, tracking. Option D, universal design for learning. The correct answer is option D, universal design for learning. This describes universal design for learning because UDL plans flexible access and expression options before barriers appear. Accommodation only is not the best choice because it changes access for an individual after a need is identified. Mastery grading is different because it focuses on reaching standards before moving ahead. Tracking does not fit because it separates students into groups by perceived ability. Question 52. For a short exam review, Tarek connects an instructor uses a quick exit question to adjust tomorrow's lesson with which principle? Option A, formative assessment. Option B, norm-referenced assessment. Option C, placement test. Option D, summative assessment. The correct answer is option A, formative assessment. This describes formative assessment because the assessment is used during learning to guide instruction and feedback. Norm-referenced assessment is not the best choice because it compares performance to other learners. Placement test is different because it sorts students before instruction begins. Summative assessment does not fit because it judges learning after instruction is complete. Question 53. Could a case where a final exam measures what the class learned after the unit ends be an example of which concept for Tarek? Option A, formative assessment. Option B, diagnostic assessment. Option C, summative assessment. Option D, anecdotal record. The correct answer is option C, summative assessment. This describes summative assessment because the assessment evaluates achievement at the end of a learning period. Formative assessment is not the best choice because it guides instruction during learning. Diagnostic assessment is different because it identifies starting strengths and needs. Anecdotal record does not fit because it is a brief observational note. Question 54. Why would Tarek link a student's score is judged against a fixed standard of mastery to one major educational psychology idea? Option A, ipsative assessment. Option B, criterion referenced assessment. Option C, norm referenced assessment. Option D, informal observation. The correct answer is option B, criterion referenced assessment. This describes criterion referenced assessment because performance is compared with defined criteria rather than other students. Ipsative assessment is not the best choice because it compares a student to their own past performance. Norm referenced assessment is different because it compares students to a reference group. Informal observation does not fit because it is not necessarily tied to a fixed standard. Question 55. A practice item tells Tarek that a score report shows how a student performed compared with a national sample. Which concept is most likely? Option A, criterion referenced assessment. Option B, formative assessment. Option C, authentic assessment. Option D, norm referenced assessment. The correct answer is option D, norm referenced assessment. This describes norm referenced assessment because the score is interpreted relative to other test takers. Criterion referenced assessment is not the best choice because it compares performance to a standard. Formative assessment is different because it is used during learning for improvement. Authentic assessment does not fit because it uses real-world tasks. Question 56. Before answering, Tarek identifies that a test gives similar results when the same skill is measured repeatedly. Which term should be chosen? Option A, reliability. Option B, validity. Option C, bias. Option D, percentile rank. The correct answer is option A, reliability. This describes reliability because reliability means scores are consistent across time, items, or raters. Validity is not the best choice because it asks whether the test measures the intended construct. Bias is different because it concerns unfair advantage or disadvantage. Percentile rank does not fit because it reports relative standing. Question 57. Which choice helps Tarek explain why a math test actually measures math reasoning instead of reading speed in a morning lesson? Option A. Standard error. Option B. Inter-rater agreement. Option C. Validity. Option D. Reliability. The correct answer is option C. Validity. This describes validity because validity concerns whether an assessment measures what it claims to measure. Standard error is not the best choice because it estimates score uncertainty. Inter-rater agreement is different because it is one form of consistency between scorers. Reliability does not fit because it concerns consistency, not meaning. Question 58. How can Tarek classify a classroom moment where all examines receive the same directions, timing, and scoring rules? Option A. Authentic assessment. Option B. Portfolio assessment. Option C. Standardized test. Option D. Informal assessment. The correct answer is option C. Standardized test. This describes standardized test because standardization keeps testing conditions uniform so scores can be interpreted fairly. Authentic assessment is not the best choice because it asks students to perform realistic tasks. Portfolio assessment is different because it collects multiple pieces of work over time. Informal assessment does not fit because it may be flexible and teacher-made. Question 59. Suppose Tarek observes that the class design a real classroom plan instead of only selecting answers on a test. Which concept is shown? Option A. Authentic assessment. Option B. Forced choice test. Option C. Norm-referenced assessment. Option D. Standardized assessment. The correct answer is option A. Authentic assessment. This describes authentic assessment because students demonstrate learning through realistic tasks and products. Forced choice test is not the best choice because it limits responses to provided options. Norm-referenced assessment is different because it compares performance to a group. Standardized assessment does not fit because it uses uniform procedures and scoring. Question 60. While reviewing, Tarek sees the class receive a scoring guide describing levels for evidence, clarity, and accuracy. Which idea matches the situation? Option A. Norm table. Option B. Checklist. Option C. Syllabus. Option D. Rubric. The correct answer is option D. Rubric. This describes rubric because a rubric lists criteria and performance levels for judging work. Norm table is not the best choice because it helps interpret scores against a sample. Checklist is different because it often marks whether elements are present without quality levels. Syllabus does not fit because it outlines course policies and topics. Question 61. One interesting clue says an instructor moves the class from remembering facts to evaluating arguments and creating projects. Which educational psychology term fits for Tarek? Option A. Kohlberg stages. Option B. Erikson stages. Option C. Bloom taxonomy. Option D. Maslow hierarchy. The correct answer is option C. Bloom taxonomy. This describes Bloom taxonomy because the taxonomy organizes cognitive tasks from lower to higher levels of thinking. Kohlberg stages is not the best choice because it describes moral reasoning. Erikson stages is different because it describes psychosocial development. Maslow hierarchy does not fit because it organizes human needs. Question 62. From this example, where a student with a qualifying disability has a legal plan with goals and services, which answer should Tarek select? Option A. Lesson plan. Option B. Norming report. Option C. Individualized education program. Option D. Rubric. The correct answer is option C. Individualized education program. This describes individualized education program because an IEP documents specialized instruction, supports, goals, and services for eligible students. Lesson plan is not the best choice because it guides a teacher's daily instruction, but is not a special education legal document. Norming report is different because it summarizes comparison data. Rubric does not fit because it scores performance. Question 63. Students in a final review session discuss why a student with a disability learns with non-disabled peers as much as appropriate. Which concept gives the best explanation? Option A. Standardization. Option B. Retention. Option C. Least restrictive environment. Option D. Tracking. The correct answer is option C. Least restrictive environment. This describes least restrictive environment because students should be educated in settings that provide access while avoiding unnecessary separation. Standardization is not the best choice because it keeps testing procedures uniform. Retention is different because it keeps a student in the same grade. Tracking does not fit because it groups students by proceedability. Question 64. Teachers in a learning lab wonder why a learner gets extended time while the learning target stays the same. Which principle applies? Option A, accommodation. Option B, acceleration. Option C, modification. Option D, punishment. The correct answer is option A, accommodation. This describes accommodation because access is adjusted without changing the essential learning expectation. Acceleration is not the best choice because it moves a learner ahead faster. Modification is different because it changes the learning expectation or task level. Punishment does not fit because it reduces unwanted behavior through consequences. Question 65. Can Tarek treat a learner completes a simplified assignment with different learning expectations as evidence of which concept? Option A, scaffolding. Option B, modification. Option C, accommodation. Option D, universal screening. The correct answer is option B, modification. This describes modification because the task or standard is changed to fit the learner's instructional level. Scaffolding is not the best choice because it gives temporary support toward the same goal. Accommodation is different because it changes access while keeping the same standard. Universal screening does not fit because it checks all learners for risk. Question 66. If Tarek must answer quickly, which idea is signaled when a strong thinker struggles with accurate word decoding and benefits from structured phonics? Option A, behavior contract. Option B, dyscalculia support. Option C, percentile rank. Option D, dyslexia support. The correct answer is option D, dyslexia support. This describes dyslexia support because dyslexia commonly affects word reading and decoding, so explicit structured literacy support can help. Behavior contract is not the best choice because it targets behavior goals. Dyscalculia support is different because it focuses on math-related difficulties. Percentile rank does not fit because it reports relative test standing. Question 67. Rather than guessing, Tarek should connect a learner focuses better with short tasks, movement breaks, and clear routines with which concept? Option A, criterion testing. Option B, classical conditioning. Option C, ADHD classroom support. Option D, gifted compacting. The correct answer is option C, ADHD classroom support. This describes ADHD classroom support because structured routines and attention supports can reduce distractions and support self-management. Criterion testing is not the best choice because it compares performance to standards. Classical conditioning is different because it links stimuli with responses. Gifted compacting does not fit because it removes already mastered work for advanced learners. Question 68. Curiosity rises when Tarek reads that an advanced learner skips mastered work and uses time for deeper enrichment. Which term solves the puzzle? Option A, retention. Option B, curriculum compacting. Option C, remediation. Option D, extinction. The correct answer is option B, curriculum compacting. This describes curriculum compacting because already mastered content is reduced so the learner can pursue more challenging work. Retention is not the best choice because it repeats a grade or course. Remediation is different because it remediates skills that are not yet mastered. Extinction does not fit because it removes reinforcement to reduce a behavior. Question 69. A CLEP-style scenario says examples, discussion norms and materials connect learning to the class cultural backgrounds. Which answer best captures it for Tarek? Option A, colorblind teaching. Option B, standardized testing. Option C, culturally responsive teaching. Option D, ability tracking. The correct answer is option C, culturally responsive teaching. This describes culturally responsive teaching because instruction uses students' cultural knowledge and experiences as assets for learning. Colorblind teaching is not the best choice because it ignores cultural differences rather than using them constructively. Standardized testing is different because it keeps procedures uniform. Ability tracking does not fit because it separates students by perceivability. Question 70. Inside a quiet study group, Tarek studies why an assessment unfairly disadvantages a group because examples depend on unfamiliar cultural knowledge. Which concept fits? Option A, validity evidence. Option B, standard deviation. Option C, test bias. Option D, reliability. The correct answer is option C, test bias. This describes test bias because bias occurs when irrelevant factors give some groups an unfair advantage or disadvantage. Validity evidence is not the best choice because it supports appropriate score interpretation. Standard deviation is different because it describes score spread. Reliability does not fit because it concerns score consistency. Question 71. Looking at the clue that the class transition quickly because procedures for materials and movement are practiced daily, which idea should Tarek remember? Option A, accommodation. Option B, random reinforcement. Option C, summative testing. Option D, classroom routines. The correct answer is option D, classroom routines. This describes classroom routines because clear repeated procedures reduce confusion and support orderly learning time. Accommodation is not the best choice because it adjusts access for a learner. Random reinforcement is different because it gives rewards unpredictably. Summative testing does not fit because it evaluates final achievement. Question 72. Tarek sees that the class earn points for target behaviors and trade them for privileges during a morning lesson. Which concept best explains it? Option A, classical conditioning. Option B, token economy. Option C, logical consequence. Option D, mastery learning. The correct answer is option B, token economy. This describes token economy because tokens serve as conditioned reinforcers that can be exchanged for backup rewards. Classical conditioning is not the best choice because it links two stimuli rather than using exchangeable rewards. Logical consequence is different because it is connected naturally to misbehavior. Mastery learning does not fit because it requires meeting standards before moving forward. Question 73. When Tarek notices that a student who misuses lab materials must repair the setup and review safety steps in a practice test workshop, which idea is being tested? Option A, negative reinforcement. Option B, extinction. Option C, logical consequence. Option D, unrelated punishment. The correct answer is option C, logical consequence. This describes logical consequence because the consequence is related to the behavior and helps restore responsible action. Negative reinforcement is not the best choice because it increases behavior by removing an unpleasant condition. Extinction is different because it withholds reinforcement to reduce behavior. Unrelated punishment does not fit because it does not connect meaningfully to the behavior. Question 74. During a tutoring table, Tarek studies a case where an instructor spots small off-task behavior early while continuing the lesson smoothly. Which term fits best? Option A, scaffolding. Option B, self-efficacy. Option C, with-itness. Option D, wait time. The correct answer is option C, with-itness. This describes with-itness because with-itness means awareness of classroom events and quick response before problems grow. Scaffolding is not the best choice because it gives temporary learning support. Self-efficacy is different because it is belief in capability. Wait time does not fit because it is a pause after asking a question. Question 75. In a classroom discussion, Tarek asks why an instructor pauses several seconds after asking a question before calling on anyone. Which answer names the idea? Option A, distributed practice. Option B, response cost. Option C, with-itness. Option D, wait time. The correct answer is option D, wait time. This describes wait time because wait time gives students more processing time and often improves response quality. Distributed practice is not the best choice because it spreads study sessions over time. Response cost is different because it removes a privilege after behavior. With-itness does not fit because it is awareness of classroom behavior. Question 76. After reading that a prompt asks the class to explain several possible reasons instead of choosing one fact, how should Tarek label the concept? Option A, open-ended questioning. Option B, fixed ratio schedule. Option C, recall cue. Option D, closed question. The correct answer is option A, open-ended questioning. This describes open-ended questioning because open-ended questions invite elaboration, reasoning, and multiple defensible responses. Fixed ratio schedule is not the best choice because it reinforces after a set number of responses. Recall cue is different because it simply prompts memory of stored information. Closed question does not fit because it usually has one brief answer. Question 77. For a short exam review, Tarek connects an instructor tells a learner exactly what worked and what to revise next with which principle? Option A, summative grade only. Option B, general praise. Option C, random correction. Option D, effective feedback. The correct answer is option D, effective feedback. This describes effective feedback because specific, timely feedback helps learners close the gap between current and desired performance. Summative grade only is not the best choice because it reports performance without next steps. General praise is different because it may feel positive but gives little guidance. Random correction does not fit because it lacks targeted connection to the learning goal. Question 78. Could a case where a student sets a goal, monitors progress, changes strategies, and reflects after studying be an example of which concept for TEREC? Option A. Social facilitation. Option B. Operant conditioning. Option C. Object permanence. Option D. Self-regulated learning. The correct answer is option D. Self-regulated learning. This describes self-regulated learning because learners actively plan, monitor, control, and evaluate their learning. Social facilitation is not the best choice because it concerns performance changes in the presence of others. Operant conditioning is different because it emphasizes consequences shaping behavior. Object permanence does not fit because it concerns infant understanding of hidden objects. Question 79. Why would TEREC link the class take turns summarizing, questioning, clarifying, and predicting during reading to one major educational psychology idea? Option A. Direct instruction. Option B. Reciprocal teaching. Option C. Random assignment. Option D. Token economy. The correct answer is option B. Reciprocal teaching. This describes reciprocal teaching because the strategy uses structured dialogue to improve comprehension. Direct instruction is not the best choice because it is mainly teacher-led explanation and practice. Random assignment is different because it assigns participants to groups by chance. Token economy does not fit because it uses symbolic rewards. Question 80. A practice item tells TEREC that one student guides another through practice while both receive learning benefits. Which concept is most likely? Option A. Peer tutoring. Option B. Portfolio assessment. Option C. Lecture. Option D. Tracking. The correct answer is option A. Peer tutoring. This describes peer tutoring because students support each other's learning through structured helper-learner roles. Portfolio assessment is not the best choice because it collects work samples over time. Lecture is different because it is teacher presentation to a group. Tracking does not fit because it separates students into ability groups. Question 81. Before answering, TEREC identifies that a child identifies that cat and cup begin with the same spoken sound. Which term should be chosen? Option A. Phonics. Option B. Morphology. Option C. Phonemic awareness. Option D. Syntax. The correct answer is option C. Phonemic awareness. This describes phonemic awareness because the learner is attending to individual sounds in spoken language. Phonics is not the best choice because it links sounds to printed letters. Morphology is different because it studies meaningful word parts. Syntax does not fit because it concerns sentence structure. Question 82. Which choice helps TEREC explain why a learner improves a skill after watching a competent model demonstrate each step in a mini lecture? Option A. Bandura modeling. Option B. Piaget conservation. Option C. Skinner shaping. Option D. Maslow needs. The correct answer is option A. Bandura modeling. This describes Bandura modeling because Bandura emphasized learning by observing models and the outcomes of their actions. Piaget conservation is not the best choice because it concerns logical understanding of quantity. Skinner shaping is different because it reinforces gradual behavior changes through consequences. Maslow needs does not fit because it explains motivation through layered needs. Question 83. How can TEREC classify a classroom moment where family, school, peers, community, and culture all shape a child's development? Option A. Kohlberg moral stages. Option B. Brenfenbrenner ecological systems. Option C. Information processing. Option D. Erikson psychosocial stages. The correct answer is option B. Brenfenbrenner ecological systems. This describes Brenfenbrenner ecological systems because development is influenced by nested environmental systems around the child. Kohlberg moral stages is not the best choice because it focuses on moral reasoning. Information processing is different because it compares thinking to mental processing systems. Erikson psychosocial stages does not fit because it focuses on lifespan social-emotional conflicts. Question 84. Suppose TEREC observes that a young child uses a caregiver as a safe base and seeks comfort after stress. Which concept is shown? Option A. Authoritarian parenting. Option B. Avoidant attachment. Option C. Industry versus inferiority. Option D. Secure attachment. The correct answer is option D. Secure attachment. This describes secure attachment because secure attachment involves trust in caregiver availability and comfort. Authoritarian parenting is not the best choice because it describes strict parenting style. Avoidant attachment is different because it shows reduced seeking of comfort. Industry versus inferiority does not fit because it is a school-age psychosocial conflict. Question 85. While reviewing, Tarek sees two infants differ early in activity level, mood, and adaptability. Which idea matches the situation? Option A, criterion validity. Option B, self-concept. Option C, moral reasoning. Option D, temperament. The correct answer is option D, temperament. This describes temperament because temperament refers to biologically influenced patterns of emotional and behavioral response. Criterion validity is not the best choice because it links test scores to an outcome. Self-concept is different because it is a person's view of self. Moral reasoning does not fit because it concerns judgments about right and wrong. Question 86. One interesting clue says a child says goad because a regular grammar rule is applied too broadly. Which educational psychology term fits for Tarek? Option A, language overgeneralization. Option B, telegraphic speech. Option C, code switching. Option D, babbling. The correct answer is option A, language overgeneralization. This describes language overgeneralization because the child applies a learned language rule to an irregular case. Telegraphic speech is not the best choice because it uses short two-word phrases. Code switching is different because it shifts language varieties based on context. Babbling does not fit because it is early sound play. Question 87. From this example, where the class explain whether a character should break a rule to help someone in need, which answer should Tarek select? Option A, achievement test. Option B, moral dilemma assessment. Option C, behavior checklist. Option D, aptitude test. The correct answer is option B, moral dilemma assessment. This describes moral dilemma assessment because moral dilemmas reveal the reasoning behind judgments, not just the choice itself. Achievement test is not the best choice because it measures learned academic content. Behavior checklist is different because it records observed behaviors. Aptitude test does not fit because it predicts future learning potential. Question 88. Students in a practice test workshop discuss why a study finds that homework time and test scores rise together without proving cause. Which concept gives the best explanation? Option A, case study. Option B, experimental research. Option C, ethnography. Option D, correlational research. The correct answer is option D, correlational research. This describes correlational research because correlation shows a relationship between variables but does not establish causation. Case study is not the best choice because it examines one person or small group deeply. Experimental research is different because it manipulates variables to test cause and effect. Ethnography does not fit because it studies culture through immersion. Question 89. Teachers in a tutoring table wonder why participants are placed into tutoring or no tutoring groups by chance. Which principle applies? Option A, random assignment. Option B, convenience sampling. Option C, matching. Option D, random sampling. The correct answer is option A, random assignment. This describes random assignment because chance placement helps make groups similar before the treatment begins. Convenience sampling is not the best choice because it uses whoever is easily available. Matching is different because it pairs participants on key traits. Random sampling does not fit because it selects participants from a population. Question 90. Can Tarek treat a researcher changes the type of feedback the class receive as evidence of which concept? Option A, control variable. Option B, independent variable. Option C, confounding variable. Option D, dependent variable. The correct answer is option B, independent variable. This describes independent variable because the independent variable is the factor the researcher manipulates. Control variable is not the best choice because it is held constant. Confounding variable is different because it is an unwanted factor that may affect results. Dependent variable does not fit because it is the measured outcome. Question 91. If Tarek must answer quickly, which idea is signaled when a researcher measures quiz scores after using two different teaching methods? Option A, dependent variable. Option B, extraneous variable. Option C, random assignment. Option D, independent variable. The correct answer is option A, dependent variable. This describes dependent variable because the dependent variable is the outcome measured to see whether the treatment had an effect. Extraneous variable is not the best choice because it is an outside influence. Random assignment is different because it is a grouping procedure. Independent variable does not fit because it is the factor manipulated. Question 92. Rather than guessing, Tarek should connect one group receives regular instruction while another receives a new memory strategy with which concept? Option A, experimental group. Option B, population. Option C, sample. Option D, control group. The correct answer is option D, control group. This describes control group because the control group provides a comparison for judging the effect of the treatment. Experimental group is not the best choice because it receives the treatment being tested. Population is different because it is the larger group of interest. Sample does not fit because it is the set of participants studied. Question 93. Curiosity rises when Tarek reads that an instructor adds all quiz scores and divides by the number of the class. Which term solves the puzzle? Option A, mean. Option B, range. Option C, median. Option D, mode. The correct answer is option A, mean. This describes mean because the mean is the arithmetic average of a set of scores. Range is not the best choice because it is the difference between highest and lowest scores. Median is different because it is the middle score. Mode does not fit because it is the most frequent score. Question 94. A CLEP-style scenario says an instructor wants to know how spread out the class scores are around the average. Which answer best captures it for Tarek? Option A, mean. Option B, standard deviation. Option C, percentile rank. Option D, raw score. The correct answer is option B, standard deviation. This describes standard deviation because standard deviation describes typical distance of scores from the mean. Mean is not the best choice because it gives the average but not spread. Percentile rank is different because it shows relative standing. Raw score does not fit because it is the number of points earned. Question 95. Inside an after-school class, Tarek studies why a student's report says the score is higher than the scores of 80% of the norm group. Which concept fits? Option A, grade equivalent. Option B, percentage correct. Option C, percentile rank. Option D, standard deviation. The correct answer is option C, percentile rank. This describes percentile rank because percentile rank tells the percentage of comparison scores at or below a student's score. Grade equivalent is not the best choice because it estimates grade level performance, often imperfectly. Percentage correct is different because it reports items answered correctly. Standard deviation does not fit because it describes score spread. Question 96. Looking at the clue that the class improved partly because they know they are being studied, which idea should Tarek remember? Option A, observer bias. Option B, testing effect. Option C, Hawthorne effect. Option D, placebo effect. The correct answer is option C, Hawthorne effect. This describes Hawthorne effect because participants may change behavior simply because they are receiving attention in a study. Observer bias is not the best choice because it occurs when researcher expectations shape recording. Testing effect is different because it improves learning through retrieval practice. Placebo effect does not fit because it involves improvement from belief in a treatment. Question 97. Tarek sees that the class improve over a semester because they naturally grew older, not because of the program during a mini lecture. Which concept best explains it? Option A, instrumentation threat. Option B, selection bias. Option C, regression to the mean. Option D, maturation threat. The correct answer is option D, maturation threat. This describes maturation threat because changes due to natural development can threaten conclusions about a treatment's effect. Instrumentation threat is not the best choice because it occurs when measurement changes over time. Selection bias is different because it occurs when groups differ before a treatment. Regression to the mean does not fit because it occurs when extreme scores move closer to average later. Question 98. When Tarek notices that a researcher records detailed notes about classroom interactions instead of only counting scores in a peer study circle, which idea is being tested? Option A, meta-analysis. Option B, standardized testing. Option C, qualitative observation. Option D, random assignment. The correct answer is option C, qualitative observation. This describes qualitative observation because qualitative methods focus on rich descriptions and meanings in context. Meta-analysis is not the best choice because it statistically combines many studies. Standardized testing is different because it uses uniform measurement procedures. Random assignment does not fit because it places participants into groups by chance. Question 99. During a Bright Review class, Tarek studies a case where an instructor studies the effect of a new discussion routine in the teacher's own classroom. Which term fits best? Option A, longitudinal research. Option B, survey research. Option C, laboratory experiment. Option D, action research. The correct answer is option D, action research. This describes action research because practitioners investigate their own settings to improve local practice. Longitudinal research is not the best choice because it follows participants over time. Survey research is different because it gathers responses from questionnaires. Laboratory experiment does not fit because it tests variables in a controlled setting. Question 100. In a quiet study group, Tarek asks why families are told the study purpose, risks, and rights before agreeing to participate. Which answer names the idea? Option A, informed consent. Option B, random assignment. Option C, debriefing. Option D, confidentiality. The correct answer is option A, informed consent. This describes informed consent because participants or guardians must understand key information and voluntarily agree. Random assignment is not the best choice because it assigns participants to groups by chance. Debriefing is different because it explains details after participation. Confidentiality does not fit because it protects private data.